see this right now? Look at this. Oh my god. I'm freaking out. Look at the look at the planet. Oh god. Oh, it's like the wait, why are you yawning, Mario? Look at this. So cool. Oh, that's it. Done. Wait. We got the Mushroom Kingdom. That's insane. Oh my gosh. Vince right here. And yeah, I'm going to try to attempt to do a gaming review for Super Mario Odyssey, which is a game that, I could have played when the Switch came out. Understand this, I got my Switch very kind of late, even though it was like a few years ago that I got my Switch. And that was a magical moment. But man, this game itself was sort of a game that is definitely the introduction for the Switch and actually introducing people like what is the Switch capable of for its controls and stuff like that. And I could definitely see it. But I'm here to talk about the world, especially for any game I jump into. I talk about the world building, the world itself, and also how it really, if you get your money's worth, and also what is the experience and all that stuff, I talk about it the same way I talk about going to a country or going to it just like, kind of like a blog itself of just me talking about a game. It's not necessarily an analyzation because I don't got notes. I need notes to analyze. I need notes to actually keep things intact when it comes down to actually, reviewing certain other material, especially when it comes down to games, because I'm not the best when it comes down to reviewing games. If anything, I would rather react to games, but I of course I wouldn't do that because, I did put a few reactions as you see earlier in this video, but I don't know what's up with the rules between Nintendo and the whole copyright system. So I'm going to be very careful. You can even see here, that's my avatar, like, just saying like, hey, calm down, Nintendo. It's just an image, okay? So, yeah, I'm going to try to actually make sure Nintendo doesn't cat me because that would just be bad, But other than that, let's just see, how this goes. As like, and for those that are coming here for their like first like introduction or review of Mario Odyssey, I question who's the person that guided you this, because let me tell you, I don't know what decision you made or what kind of tomato soup you've been drinking, but I am not a top tier review, so don't be taking my opinion as oh like, oh, okay, this is what the game, okay, no, I'm the wrong person, okay? I am the wrong person to clean the house. I am wrong person to actually do your bookkeeping. And let me tell you right now, I'm the wrong person to actually tell you if this game is good or not. But it is good. Let me tell you that. Maybe I am the right person. I don't know that. Maybe you prefer reviews from people that are not freaking game journalists. And I can definitely see that. But for my opinions itself, it's just about like if the game is good or not. And let me tell you, it is. It's worth it. Just the whole imaginary of Super Mario. Like, here's the thing about Super Mario in a nutshell. Like, I feel like nothing makes sense anymore. Nothing makes sense anymore for this fellow Italiano. You know what I mean? Okay, seriously, Isabel, not now. Like, I feel like nothing makes sense for the world. Like, I've seen all the kingdoms, and I question, like especially the bunnies. What is the freaking, what are they called? Broodals or whatever? Bothels or something like that. There's a name for them. I didn't really like the name. I just called them the Bunny Gang, a crime family of bunny rabbits that, are trying to take down Mario because I guess Bowser said so. And the amount of stuff that Bowser wants for his wedding is insane. Now, I will get into spoilers of this game itself in the end because I really want to talk about Bowser in that final level. But yeah, it just seems like throughout this, and of course I'm just going to get to the non-spoiler stuff, is that this game is just nonsensical fun. It's nonsensical fun, especially when I was getting to that part in the beginning of the game, which is the T-Rex, and also the cap thing. Like, where did the caps came from? It didn't make sense, like, especially the kingdom that they come from, where it's just, just inhabited by, I guess, hats. So that didn't make sense, I guess, and, there was no story, but, it didn't matter because with the power of creativity that Mario holds. And listen, this is kind of like an ongoing thing with many Mario games. I remember I played a couple Mario games on the DS and 3DS, and those don't make sense. I especially around the GameCube, I still question like what's up with the Mario Party thing. Like, does this make sense or this that? Like for any Mario game itself, and pretty much, especially I still try to understand a little bit more of like, the whole lore of like Mario Sunshine or behind all that, and also the behind like like Bowser, like I believe that most of this could be revealed in the upcoming Mario movie, which I'm excited for. They gotta reference this game, like it needs to reference, like Cappy needs to be in that movie. But I question like what is Bowser like, what going for, and like it seems like Princess Peach is also just along for the ride. You're just rescuing her. It's a normal kind of Mario game, same old formula, this and that, and I dig it. I feel like for many times when I was playing as Mario, because of course you play as him, especially with the many customizations of different outfits and stuff like that. Even though I prefer the original kind of like look or the camper look when we went to the Wooden Kingdom, that was not fun. It just seems like I always get the sense like Mario is definitely this block of fun that is like any ability. There's nothing like impossible for him. Like definitely not a real person itself, and of course like the biggest mascot in gaming, but it just like the whole time it's just like, well, Mario might as well be everything that gaming stands for. Okay, and no surprise, like of course I would be, when I overthink about like Mario, we would be here all day, but it's just like, man, I guess Mario just has no limits anymore. Especially throughout this game. And here I am trying to compare that to a realistic state, but it literally in New Donk City is a realism of like what Mario is compared if he was actually in front of actual real freaking people. And I saw that through the game, and I was like, man, it just seems like Mario itself like just gathers everyone. And especially how that, listen, one of the fun parts of this game, I remember like it could have been a better time finishing New Donk City at the Metro Kingdom when I was actually finishing that level during New Year's. Oh, what a New Year. That was one of the best moments I ever had, is that New Year. And there is a lot of amazing moments that the timing is just so beautiful. Especially in the ending when I saw like in the Moon Kingdom. And yes, you go to the freaking moon, which is like, yeah, damn, Mario going to these limits. And it feels like that a lot of times when playing this game, it just feels like this is Mario's last game. Even though there will never be a last Mario game. I guarantee you there's going to be more. Like, Switch cannot be the end-all be-all. But if there was a, Super Mario Odyssey 2, I wouldn't know what they would do with that. Would they come back to the kingdoms? Would they actually update, like, the characters? Would you play more? Would you play, like, Luigi or Princess Peach or the other characters? Like, who knows? And I get, there's many possibilities for this game. People still this day, when they finish it, it's definitely a game that you are just going to continuously keep playing and playing, especially if you, finish with the game itself. There is no finish line of just like how, many limits that actually you can go with it, especially with the mod community actually doing big things with Mario Odyssey. But for a lot of times when actually playing this game, it just seems like it's putting a perspective of love for the fans that actually really care about this. And I love how each theme of each kingdom really gives its own culture in a way. Like I went to the Sand Kingdom. That is definitely somewhat reminiscent to, like, I guess, Aztec culture, or, in the Latin America, if they have like a desert or something, which I wouldn't know. Like, I've been to Mexico. I never been to that deep in the Mexican region where I saw a freaking desert. I never saw that. I never did, okay? And plus, that was like years ago. And I could only imagine that that's definitely inspired by the Sand Kingdom. And, of course, New Donk City is inspired by New York, which Mario is from. And that could be like a historic site that's where Mario came from. We could have seen, like, Mario's childhood, especially, like, like that would be so dope if we saw, like, Mario's parents. Does he have parents? Does he not? Are they alive? I wouldn't know. Because that didn't really showcase at all in Metro Kingdom, even though, like, I didn't look into it enough. But at the same time, that could have been deep. That could have been something amazing. Like, I feel like New Donk City is one of the best kind of gaming levels I ever seen on the Switch. And it itself, that it brings, like, some vibrance of just, like, like where Mario's from. And, especially how that is definitely inspired throughout American, like, New York City kind of culture kind of thing. And then it goes into different areas, of different kingdoms and stuff like that, especially for, like, the Bowser level, which is like this Japanese kingdom, which is inspired by feudal Japan. and it just brought that final, like, very like, oh man, this is about to be, a total badass moment here, kind of like, Kingdom. It, that it just brought the epicness, and also playing as different like characters and levels and stuff like that. I like different characters, especially my favorite being the peacock, where it just has like this beak that is, ready to slice people up or something, or poke them. And also like, like playing as the Koopas, you get to actually play as different characters, and that's the power of Cappy, of course. One thing I try to understand is that I don't understand the whole multiplayer kind of deal. I wish that you could actually have a split screen, which I know split screens are dead at this point, especially that monumental moment. I forget what year it was, but it was Halo. And mind you, I don't care about Halo. I didn't grow up with it. Okay, any Xbox exclusive, I'm sorry. It's all strangers to me. I never actually have like any experience of anything involving Xbox. That's Halo in a nutshell, for sure. I mean, shoot, Red versus Blue, I have more experience of it, and that's definitely inspired by Halo. But Halo itself, when it comes down to, the games, I'm trying to shoot. I forget my point that I was trying to make, but like, of course, like it seems like for that whole monumental moment when they announced, I forget what year it was again, that like somewhere like one of the Halo developers was gonna say like, oh, we're gonna cancel split screen, and the whole community just went haywire. It just like, and that kind of, I guess, sort of ended split screen for mini games, which it's not something I believe, because I do remember playing Tony Hawk Pro Skater, the remake series on my Switch, and then it has split screen, but I'm not sure about the other games, the newer games, because that's basically a remake that I just talked about, Tony Hawk Pro Skater. I don't know about newer games nowadays having split screen. This could have been dope to have split screen. Super Mario Odyssey should have split screen of actually playing, maybe two types of Marios, and actually are playing different characters. That could have been dope. That could have been like, a full-on W, but it doesn't. It doesn't have that. And, I don't understand that, the other player, like in co-op mode, that you're playing as like, the Cap, and I'm playing as Mario. It just doesn't make sense. I wish they did something for the multiplayer, but then again, that's just a small criticism. The whole game itself was a dream. It was fun. It was a lot of fun. A lot of mechanics that I really enjoyed actually playing throughout this game. The levels, just every time I come back to it, it's a lot to, there's never a lot to really, commit. It's just all fun in between Mario and actually seeing all the levels and stuff like that. You see a lot of random things going on between these levels, especially these enemies. I question a lot of times, like, what is up? What are the inspiration for these villains? You have like an Italian thing that is in the Wooden Kingdom. Like, what? I don't know where that came from. And you have like this big old squid boss in like this like watered like beach kingdom or something. And I don't really remember the names. I think the most name that I know is like New Dong City. But all of them actually has like, Snow Kingdom, Metro Kingdom, Cactus Kingdom, Sand Kingdom, all the kingdoms basically. And, you're just trying to stop, the whole wedding to become something of a reality, which, a reality in the game. And the whole part of this game, or, most point that if I would actually make, give my thoughts already, because I do want to get into the spoilers, is that I really do enjoy this game so much. Is it a game that I would come back? No. It's a game that I was happy that I experienced. This game itself is worth experiencing. There's just something about Mario games. Games that is specifically from Nintendo, that is specifically from the Mario universe. I'm talking about Donkey Kong, Yoshi, all the goats. And there's something about playing those games and nowadays that are just like new and, out there, that felt like something that is very monumental. That's why a lot of people are just talking about the Super Mario movie. Mario is the Michael Jordan of games. I mean, maybe people might disagree with me. I guarantee you, there's a lot of mascots that are like up there. Sonic, still to this day, I feel like, Jack and Daxter is actually still one up there. I still feel like Sly Cooper is somewhere in the Hall of Fame. There's many other gaming characters that are in the Hall of Fame. Some of the Final Fantasy characters, Metal Gear, Snake, and also just like the list goes on. It doesn't end. The list goes on. But right now, I keep thinking like it's mainly Sonic and Mario. I mean, those are the two that I keep thinking, and Mario is definitely up there that can overtake Sonic. And Sonic is one of my childhoods. Mario isn't. Mario is a game that I grew up and I know about it. Of course, I was familiar about it. You know, I didn't really grow up much in the 90s, but I know who Mario is definitely when I was a kid. And I wasn't that crazy about it, but I know who he is. And it feels like something that is definitely within the history when a Mario game comes out. Let me tell you, there was a moment in this game where I was like, damn, I'm living in a time where this is history being made. And it was during that time when in the Moon Kingdom, when Mario, like the Earth was there. And you know, one thing that's crazy is that I'm into space somewhat, somewhat into space. And when I say that, I'm not into the nicks and crannies when it comes to freaking rocket science. Okay, I'm not gonna work at NASA anytime soon. But the next year, I believe, is going to be the moon mission. If you know what that is, it's called the Artemis mission. And it's basically the mission of humans sending, NASA sending humans to the moon, which is still to this day, I'm kind of like very, blown away that many people are not talking about, especially how it's already 2023 and how the years went fast. Man, 2024 it feels like it's around the corner. And that moon mission is going to be something big. That moment where Mario was up there on the moon looking at Earth and seeing Earth in its sphere, seeing something that beautiful, and me being something that's like always into the idea of sci-fi being something of reality, I could definitely look at this and like, oh, it's going to be real in a few years later on. And the fact that it's almost here and next year is going to be that year where the moon mission is going to happen, there could be some delays. But man, from looking at NASA, and I'm not a fan much of it, I follow their channel, but from the looks of it and looking from other space analysis that are professionals that can actually give you the big details of space, it seems like it's a possibility. It definitely is. But Mario scene there was a moment where it's like, oh God, this is real. It's like Mario is almost merging into real life. The more I look at the certain views of the game and New Donk City itself, like it's just something that like, man, Mario, I know Mario's real, inspired by a real plumber, I believe. And, and of course you can read the history books for that, you can Google that. I'm not, but I just heard about it. And it just seems like it's almost coming back to something big. And for Mario, it's always like a spectacular moment. I'm just saying. I'm just telling you the way I look at, like, for example, FIFA. I don't care about FIFA, but it's big. The World Cup is huge. That's a fact. Okay, that's a fact. And Mario's huge. Mario is big. Almost everybody knows Mario. And for this moment, seeing this game, and it was almost like I was in the crowd, just seeing that whole moment played out. And I was like, man, this is beautiful. This is actually beautiful right now. I just couldn't stop looking at the moon. I was just like, yo, what am I looking at? You saw the video. I think I put it on the videos, but man, that was a fun moment. And it made me realize, like, you know what? This is the best game. This is the best kind of Switch game that I've played in a while. But yeah, that's my reviews of the game. I love it. I enjoyed it. The mechanics, especially like the retro throwback of Maul going to the wall, like the different levels, the hidden, little coins, like the purple coins that you get, the stars, the springs, or whatever it's called that you get. Like all of it is such good fun. And playing as Cappy and, playing like a new Mario game that is, that's somewhat like very recent is definitely fun. Like I really enjoyed it. You can't go wrong with Mario. You just can't. Next is the spoilers. And I'm about to get into spoilers about this game. If you haven't played it, I really urge you to actually play it in any way you can. And I'm about to get into spoilers. So 3, 2, 1. I want to know what's up with Bowser and Mario and their, are they really gonna fall for it for like, Princess Peach? That ending. Especially that epic ending with the song and everything. And, I had a moment where I'm like, oh, Bowser's a good guy. And listen, Bowser is part of the Mario fam, even though he's the enemy and the bad guy. He's part of fam in some ways. I literally had like a very empathetic moment where I'm like, maybe Mario is going to make a decision where Mario is going to realize like, Oh, Bowser, you deserve something big. So there you go. That's my Mario voice. I'm so sorry. He's Italian. I'm Italian. And here I am trying to sound like a freaking fictional game character. Oh, Mario, it's a me. Um, but yeah, I really thought Mario's gonna be like, you deserve this. You deserve this, Bowser. Like, this is your wife. And I thought that was gonna happen. Listen, I don't mind if Princess Peach and Bowser get together. I know that's wrong. I know that the Nintendo squad is gonna be like, no, that's not gonna happen. I just feel like, especially that moment in, what is it, Sunshine? Mario Sunshine. Still to this day, I remember it. And I finished the game when I was in middle school. I literally was like, especially that reveal. And this is spoilers for Mario Sunshine. I'm sorry. But literally, like, the kid, the final level is Bowser's kid. Bowser's kid calling Princess Peach mommy. Like, it made me question, like, okay, Princess Peach, what is this about right here, huh? What did you and Bowser did before, huh? Huh? Where that kid came from? And I get it. It's not a freaking human kid. But who was the one that birthed Bowser Jr.? Who is the one? I want to know. Who is the mother? Is it Princess Peach or someone else? I gots to know. I gots to know. And there was this whole theory that MathPad made about, like, Princess Peach, aka Princess Toadstool, is the one that hypnotized Mario in order to save her. Like something like crazy, conspiracy, something like that. Just out there, it's a game conspiracy, from MathPad. If you know him, you know him. But what is up with that ending? With the part where, like, they all both confess and, Princess Peach just but actually gets Mario in a sense of, like, but then later on when I finished, like, the kingdom or something, I didn't read the whole text from the female Toad, but I honestly, like, it was a strange one because the princess escaped or something. Why? I don't know. I didn't read the text much care about it because I was already, listen, I love the game, but I need to delete it so I can play the other games that I want to catch up. And I'm in this whole gaming. It was during my, like, this whole game mood, which is almost every night. I feel like, gaming hour, where I'm like, yo, I gotta play this other game. And after that, I played, like, I right now I'm playing, like, what is it? Storm. God, I forget the freaking Steam House Dig or something. Is that what it's called? Dig 2. Also, oh yeah, River City Girls. Yeah, that is a lot of gigs. So I want to play that. I was just like, yo, okay, I'm done with the game. I'm good. And if there's anything I want to see else, I go on YouTube and see the rest and the extras, which I could have. But I had my ending with the game and it was fulfilling. Okay, some people are gonna be like, "Whoa, you gotta finish all the way, Vince. You gotta finish it all the way through, including the Mushroom Kingdom." Who got time for that? Especially how, my school was about to start. I need to actually, like, I'm good. I gotta delete it. I need more gigs. I'm out of gigs. If I had enough gigs, I probably would see the whole thing through. But I had to delete it because my gigabytes are kind of short here. Oh, man. I need new hardware. But other than that, man, what a game. Let me tell you, I really enjoyed Super Mario Odyssey. It's definitely worth the play. And, the whole Mario lore, it gets you into it. It really does. Other than that, I'm just here to say it's a good game. I'm not a freaking analysis or a fan of Mario, but this is a really good game. I gotta say. And it's a fun moment. One hell of a moment. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you subscribe, like, comment, and adjust. And more game reviews soon.